Hello, everybody. Welcome back on the Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. Going to roll down to Chattanooga. Going to talk to a Hall of Fame coach. He's got 474 wins, 82 losses. He's 70 years old. This is his 42nd season in coaching high school football. And I bring to you all to the air head coach Gary Rankin. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thanks.
Just looking forward to chatting with you and talking high school football. Have you, Coach, the last couple of days, has the weather been good down in Chattanooga?
Been great, and I'm excited. I almost feel like it's my first year of coaching. I don't know. The good Lord must have put something in my blood or something. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited for Friday night, and we've had a good fall. And like I say, I feel like it's the first game I've ever coached.
Well, you've been at it a long time, and you get started, and it was hot there for a little while, and then how did your scrimmages go? Talk a little bit about that.
Went well. We had some scrimmages, and we've done well. Jamboree, we played well, so we're just we're where we should be, or I think we should be in the second year. We're so much further along than we were last year this time, and it's just been a lot smoother this fall, and that's what you expect the second year and you hope for. So I don't know if it'll equate into a lot more wins, but it's certainly been a lot better the second year and the second go around.
You talked in the spring edition of the Coaches Show about adding some personnel on that coaching staff and brought Country in. How's that going in the transition?
We did. Seems like a lot of people know Country. I think he's one of the better O-line coaches around, and we needed that piece in our puzzle. We brought a defensive line coach from Knox Central that played at Tennessee Tech, Terrell Rollins, and Terrell's a great kid, a great guy around our kids, and a great defensive line coach. So, it's not only players, but getting your coaching staff set like you want it is not a first year thing sometimes. So we've made some additions to our coaching staff, and we feel good about that. I feel like we're settled there. And I feel like our foundation is in place pretty good, so hopefully we can make this thing go.
Well, you was 7-4 last year and 3-3 in the region, and you want to get better. I mean, that's just the bottom line. The goal is set a little bit higher than it was last year. You feel like these kids know what they're doing. As you go in and we look at the offensive side of the ball, what's changed, Coach, from you implementing everything and getting them? Are the practices going a lot smoother? Are they starting to understand?
Practices are a lot smoother, a lot more efficient. We're stronger as a football team than we were last year. We're still really, really young. That's probably my biggest concern. We had a few kids leave the program. We had some seniors that graduated, and we're playing a lot of young kids right now. We don't have but 8 seniors in our program. 6 of them play, probably 6 or 7 play some. So if I've got one worry right now, it's being a little bit on the young side. But we certainly hadn't shown that so far this fall. So, sometimes that thing don't rear its head until things go bad.
Yeah.
And then that immaturity and that youngness comes out a little bit. So everything's been going good, and our kids have been doing good. But you always worry about what's going to happen when you get smacked around a little bit and how those young kids will be affected. But so far, so good with us.
Well, and you say that, and it's a lot different. You've played a little bit of jamboree. There's no crowd. There's no band, and when you're playing a young bunch of kids, it's really in the early games. It's about teaching them also about we got to hydrate. We got to be ready for Friday night, and they don't understand how much liquids you got to drink. Start drinking on Thursday night. Start preparing.
Right? Yeah, you can't wait to game time. You can't wait to game day, and I don't care what anybody says. There's a difference in being in shape and being in game shape. So they'll see a little difference Friday night about what it's like, and I think we're in good shape right now. But like I say, it's always a little bit different when you start that first game, and I think we're in pretty good shape. We've done a lot of conditioning and a lot of running stuff, and we've tried to play a lot of kids, and even though we're young, we're trying to build a little bit of depth. So we'll see. But we're excited about Friday night. There's one thing about Boyd. There's always a huge crowd there. We've got a huge following for a smaller school, and we'll have this place packed Friday night, and it'll be fun for the kids.
How many are you dressing at Boyd, Coach?
We're dressing about 55 right now, and most of those are contribute a little bit. We don't have a lot of what we call hang-your-owners. So most of those kids can play a little bit and get on the field. So I feel good about our numbers and where we are along that line.
When you play other teams, what do you see on the other side of the sidelines? What are the numbers? Are they generally the same, or is it sometimes a little?
Well, I think numbers are overall. I think numbers are going down a little bit, just in football in general. Of course, your good programs are keeping those numbers up there, and some of the programs that are struggling a little bit are having a chore keeping enough kids out there. And, football's a tough game, and if there's not some rewards for those kids, it's pretty tough. So, I've been proud to keep our numbers up, and most time it's got something to do with your product. If your product's good, kids will be out there. So, that's just part of the deal.
Well, Coach, you got Chattanooga Prep on Friday night. Talk to us a little bit about your opponent and what you know about them. I mean, have you traded a little bit of film?
Hadn't traded anything and don't really know a whole lot about them. And I told our kids today I'm worried about what comes out of our side of the field versus the other side of the field. So I'm worried about us and us playing good. Don't know a whole lot about them. We'll adjust as we go like we do in a scrimmage, and we'll see. They do have some athletes. I know they got to the state tournament in basketball. So that usually means you got some athletes, and they will. And we'll just sort of fill it out as we go.
Are you still riding the bicycle?
Riding a bicycle all the time.
Well, how many miles can you go, Coach? Just you're 70. How many miles you put down usually daily?
I'll get in 12 or 15 miles a day usually.
12, 15 miles, and Coach Watson talks about how and I've just heard a little chatter in the background, but if you don't have a good bike, you're going to let them know it.
That's right. Watson's a bike rider. He's got into it a little bit, but trying to stay in shape and trying to keep his whole body so I can coach a few more years. So that's my form of exercise.
What kind of bike do you got, Coach?
I got a Trek e-bike. It's got some power to it.
It's got some
power. I've
power.
only wrecked it twice, so I've been pretty lucky.
Was it bad wrecks? Listen, I used to ride a Puig. Or a Peugeot or a Pouget or whatever you want to call it. It was Italian-made bicycle, but I used to pedal. I used to pedal a little bit.
I ain't got no Pouget.
I pedaled a little bit. It was an Italian-made bicycle.
I got you.
But it was a 12-speed. It was a 12-speed. I could pedal down the Rough River. That's about 17 miles and back.
That's a pretty good haul, buddy.
I'd get after it. But anyway, it's Coach, it's always a pleasure to talk to you on Inside the Headset. We wish you the best of luck. And you know what? Come week 3, we're coming down there too. And guess what? This is the funny thing. This is the funny thing.
Excited.
It's just me and Judy. It's just me and Judy coming from here. Anthony can't make the trip, so it's just me and Judy. But guess what? We may have Dean Fox, the Fox that rocks. He lives in Maryville, watches the games. Not a lot of people know that, but he lives in Maryville. He watches the games, and he keeps the stats and sends them to us. But he is talking about making the trip to Boyd Buchanan, so we may have live.
Oh man, that would be good.
Yeah, you get the number. You get all the numbers, Coach. I mean, this guy can drill out some stats. He is a machine on the numbers, and he'll throw some few anecdotes in there as we go along. But Coach, can't thank you enough.
That'll be. Hey, I appreciate it. I just want to thank you for always having me on before Thomas McDaniel. I don't know if I could have followed him in the order of these conversations, so thanks a lot for having me on before him.
Well, his kids are growing up. He's now and running that Purple Wave over at Christian. He catches White Station, and he's going to see some speed.
I wish I could change opponents with him that first game. That's all I wish, but no, we can't do that.
Coach, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and we'll talk to you next week. Good luck on Friday night. Stay healthy and play hard.
Thank you, Stork. Appreciate it, brother.
All righty. Bye-bye.